Have you ever wondered how something as simple as an idea can turn into a real physical object? That's exactly what 3D printing allows us to do. It's like bringing your imagination to life one layer at a time. But before I get into details, let me give you a basic idea of what 3D printing actually is. Hi, my name is Sophia. I am a sophomore, and this is my project under the mentorship of Kevin Z. So let me give you a quick overview of today's presentation. We'll start with an introduction covering the project's main goal and the role of 3D printing in architecture. Next is inspiration and background, where I'll explain my interest in 3D printing, art, and architecture led to this project. In research exploration, I'll discuss the research journey that led me to focus on 3D printing models. Then we'll look at the historical context of Lake Como, explaining why this location inspired my project. I'll then cover design and software tools, highlighting the programs I use to create the 3D models. In 3D printing process, I'll explain how the digital designs were turned into physical models. We'll then move on to decoration and final touches, detailing how I added realistic elements to my model. Finally, I'll wrap up with conclusion and reflections, sharing what I learned and the impact of this project. With that, let's start with the introduction and dive into the project. So you might ask, why this project out of everything that was available? Well, choosing this project was a natural fit because it combines several of my passions: design, technology, and art. I've always been fascinated by creative possibilities of 3D printing, how it can take an idea from a digital file and turn it into something tangible. I also have a deep interest in architecture, especially the intricate designs and historical significance of European towns like Lake Como. Lake Como, with its beautiful blend of nature and architecture, provides the perfect setting for this project. I wanted to explore how 3D printing could capture the essence of such a place and bring it to life. This topic allows me to merge my love for artistic design and cutting-edge technology, and how to explore these two fields can intersect to something truly unique and meaningful. So, what is 3D printing? 3D printing is a process where we create a three-dimensional object by adding materials layer by layer, almost like stacking sheets of paper to build up a shape. But instead of paper, we're working with materials like plastic, metal, or even special types of resin. Imagine you have a regular printer that prints images on a flat piece of paper. Now think of a printer that doesn't just print on paper, but builds up layers, one on top of another, to create an object that you can actually physically hold. That's essentially what 3D printing does. So you may wonder, how does it all work? It starts with a digital model. Think of it as a virtual blueprint of what you want to create. You can design this model on a computer using special softwares, kind of like just drawing, but in 3D. Once your design is ready, it's saved as a file that the 3D printer can read, therefore it can print. Next, the printer takes the digital file and slices it into hundreds or even thousands of thin layers. The printer then builds these layers one by one, and it deposits materials using melted plastic. But it could be other things too, layer by layer, until the entire object is complete. Each layer sticks to the one below it, so the object grows taller and taller until it's finished. So now discussing advantages and disadvantages. So one of the biggest advantages of 3D printing is that it allows a lot of customization. Because each object is built layer by layer from a digital file, it's easy to make changes to the design without having to start from scratch. This makes it ideal for creating personalized items. Another big benefit is that it can create very complex shapes. Things that'll be very difficult or even impossible to make with traditional manufacturing methods. And because you're only using the materials you need, there's a lot less waste, which is good for the environment. 3D printing can be also faster and cheaper, especially for small productions or when you're just making a prototype to test out a new idea. Now let's talk about disadvantages. Of course, like any technology, 3D printing has its challenges. Not all materials can be printed, and sometimes the object that comes out of the printer needs a bit of work just to get them right, like sanding or painting to get smooth finish. There's also limits on how big you can make something depending on the size of the printer, and while 3D printing is good for small batches or custom items, it's not always the best for mass production, or at least not yet. So now, let's take a moment to understand the architectural significance of Lake Como, which greatly influenced my design choices for this project. So Lake Como is located in the northern region of Italy, near Milan. It's one of Europe's largest lakes with a surface area of 145 square kilometers and a depth of 410 meters, making it the deepest lake on the continent. This unique geography has made Lake Como a significant culture and architectural site for centuries. What truly sets Lake Como apart is its rich architectural history, particularly its prevalence of the Art Nouveau style. This style, known for its ornate details and harmonious integration with nature, is evident in many of the buildings around its lake. It was this historical context that inspired my design choices for this diorama, as I aim to capture the essence of this period. To ensure historical accuracy, I use a variety of sources to gather information. These include Wikipedia for general overviews, Discovery and YouTube for visual insights, and New York Times for deeper historical context. These sources provided a comprehensive understanding of Lake Como's architecture, which I then transferred to my 3D printed models. So now let's explore the design process and the software tools I used to develop my 3D printed diorama of Lake Como. I began with Fusion 360, which was instrumental in creating detailed and precise building designs. This software's advanced features and professional grade capabilities allow me to craft intricate elements essential for a realistic model. Although Fusion 360 has a learning curve due to its complex tools, it was crucial for producing high-quality designs. Once the detailed models were ready, I used Blender to add realism to the diorama. Blender is excellent for texturing, lighting, and rendering, which helped me create lifelike experiences for the buildings. Despite its complex interface and the challenges of Master's extensive features, Blender was key to achieving the final level of detailing and visual appeal. The process of moving designs between Fusion and Blender was essential for this project. I created detailed models in Fusion 360 and then imported them into Blender to add textures and lightings. This workflow allowed me to leverage the strengths of each tool and ensured a polished and realistic final product. So now let's dive into the 3D printing process and how I transferred my digital designs into physical models. The first step of 3D printing is preparing the design for printing. I use Curiosity Slicer for this crucial task. This software slices the 3D model into individual layers, which the printer then prints one at a time. This layering process is essential for accurate printing because it translates the digital design into a series of instructions for the printer. During the printing, I faced several challenges. Scaling issues. One significant issue is scaling. Without precise measurement during slicing, the printed model did not match the intended scale. This required multiple of reprints to correct the sizes. Another challenge I faced was filament alignment. Ensuring the filament was correctly aligned was another challenge. Misalignment can lead to inaccuracies in the painting, affecting the overall quality of the model. My last problem was adhesion problems. Additionally, there are problems with the print not adhering to the hotbed. This caused shifts and imperfections in the print. I solved this by thoroughly cleansing the hotbed with rubbing alcohol to remove any residues that might have affected adhesion. To address these issues, I employed several solutions. First solution for scaling was, for my scaling problem, I used an online scale converter to obtain precise measurements and correct the scale of my models. This step ensured that the final print matched the intended size. I also focused on materials preparations and alignments to avoid filament misalignment. This attention to detail helped improve the accuracy of the prints and overall quality. So as we wrap up, let's reflect on the key aspects of this project and the insights we've gained. To summarize, this project involved creating a 3D printed diorama of Lake Como, Italy, using advanced and printing techniques. I explored the potential of 3D printing in architecture, navigating the design process using Fusion 360 and Blender to overcome challenges relating to scaling, filament alignment, and printing adhesion. These experiences highlighted both the capabilities and complexes of modern technology. Throughout this project, I learned several valuable lessons. Mastering CAD skills was crucial for detailing and accurate designs. Problem solving played a significant role for addressing scaling issues to ensure proper filament alignment. Additionally, managing time effectively was essential to balancing the various aspects of the project and achieving the final result. Looking ahead, the knowledge and skill gained from this project will be highly applicable to the future, especially in architectural and sustainable design. 3D printing offers exciting possibilities to create innovative and environmental friendly structures, and I'm eager to explore these technologies and how they can be contributed to more sustainable and agriculture practices. In conclusion, 3D printing has a potential to revolutionize architecture practices by enabling more precise, efficient, and sustainable construction methods. This project has reinforced my beliefs in the transformative power of technology and its ability to positive impact the field of architecture and beyond.